Hi everyone, my name is Ashley with Clover Patch Knits. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning back to my channel, welcome back to you as well. But if you're new here on this channel, I do talk about everything great and wonderful regarding knit and crochet. So yeah, that's like your new hobby, or you just want to learn about the wonderful world of these hobbies. I know you're going to love this channel. So on today's podcast, I'm going to be showing you all like an update on some projects that I've been working on, and also some new patterns, or a pattern rather, that I found that I'm kind of deciding on if I want to work on or not. So I'm going to start with giving you all the little update of the project that I've been working on. So have been working on the Stripe Hype Sweater by Veronica Lambert. That's an amazing pattern, and it's a super popular pattern. So last time I filmed, when I thought that I was going to film this video, I thought I was going to be done with the sweater and wearing it, but sad face, I'm not done with the sweater. So let me scoot back so I can show you all the sweater. This is what it looks like. It's just a stripy, beautiful sweater. I love how this sleeve is looking, like this color combination, and I finally got into like the ribbon part of my sleeve, so I'm almost done. On the sleeve, I probably have about 3 more rows before I bind off, or maybe a little bit less, but getting close to getting done. Now y'all, since I have been working on this sweater, I have run into something I've never dealt with before, and I'm playing yarn chicken, because now I'm thinking I may not have enough yarn to finish my sweater. And y'all, let me tell you what I did. So with my sweater, when I was working on the ribbing part, when I was reading the pattern, I realized I did not have the recommended needle size that was required for the ribbing part. But I was like, oh, that's fine. I can just go up a needle size. So when I did that, I wasn't even thinking about this until I started working on my sleeve that I'm currently working on. When I went up the needle size for the ribbing part of my sweater, I did not realize that I probably ended up using a little bit more yarn. And when I'm working on the sleeve, I'm looking at my yarn. So first of all, when I was looking at my sleeve, I'm like, wait, I should have a little bit more yarn. Well, also, I thought in my yarn collection, I had a whole nother skein of yarn in this main color that I'm using. Until I looked in my yarn collection, and I'm like, this is all I have left. And I was like, I don't think that's going to be enough for another sleeve, because I also have to work on the collar of my sweater, which I don't know. Like, do you all think this is enough yarn? Because I am using pretty large or medium-sized needles rather, so this may be enough. I just don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm going to be cutting it really close when I get into the collar of my sweater. So I had to run into the debate of what do I do. What I did was, today I ordered the correct or recommended needle size for the collar of my, or the ribbon rather, of my sweater. So I am debating between, do I take all of this out and re-knit it again, which I didn't want to do, because honestly this part took me a little bit of a while to knit. But I think that would be my easiest thing to do, because I know if I like re-knit this in the correct needle size, I probably would have enough yarn to finish the remaining of my sweater. But then I had 2 other ideas that I think would work. So the second idea that I had, I was like, I can see if someone else has the same exact yarn in this color and try to buy it from them. But y'all, I looked like all over Google, and nobody seems to have this yarn color. And also the yarn company, I think they're not selling yarn at this moment. So I was like, scratch that off the list. I don't think that's gonna work. But if you're watching this video and you have some Dusty Yarn Co. in the color, I think this is a color Dry Heat, and you want to sell it, just hit me up. You can send me a DM on Instagram, because I may buy it from you, because it seems like no one on the internet has this color yarn. And then I also was thinking that maybe I can buy myself some yarn in the same fiber content and try to like hand dye it myself. That would be a very fun experience for me, because I've never done it before. But then I know that's going to add like extra time and how long it's going to take me to finish my sweater, because first I've got to see how you even hand dye yarn and do the whole process, and I'm not sure how long that takes. And then also with it being like my first time hand dyeing yarn, I'm not even sure if I can even get to the exact color that I'm currently using on my sweater. So like I said, I feel like the easiest thing for me to do would just be to take out the ribbing of my sweater. Like I said, I really did not want to do that, but I think that would be the easiest thing for me to do at this point. So I don't know, you all. What do you think I should do? Do y'all think I should take out the ribbon of my sweater or try to do my own experiment of hand dyeing my yarn? If I do that, I'm definitely going to have to film that, because I feel like if I do hand dye my yarn, that would allow me to try something new and learn something new, so it would be fun. But I'm like, is this the project that I want to like experiment with hand dyeing yarn? I don't know, like. And I even had considered to try to hand dye the yarn myself, because I think it would be fun. But like I said, I don't know if this is a project that I want to do that for. So I may just end up taking out the ribbing and doing it over again, which is not really going to be fun for me. But hey, I may just have to do what I have to do. And another thing that I got to do with this sweater, because I didn't, as I said, didn't have the recommended needle size to work on the ribbing for my sweater, I bought some Knit Pro double pointed needles. I'm not sure, I think they have changed the name of their brand. I'm not sure what Knit Pro goes by anymore. I think they have a different name, but that is the needle set I brought, and I really love their double pointed needles. So this is what it looks like. These work a lot better than the other double pointed needles that I have that I bought from Amazon. Like, these are amazing. So what I did is I bought some more double pointed needles. I bought like a whole set from Knit Pro. So if you need, or you're looking for some really good double pointed needles, I would highly recommend the Knit Pro. And that is also what I did is I bought just a singular circular knitting needle set from Knit Pro. Not a set, it was just a singular circular knitting needle from Knit Pro, because I am a Chagoo knitting needle girl. That is such a tongue twister, but I love Chagoo's needles. But I was like, I also want to try other brands just so I can like have, you know, be a little bit diverse when it comes to my needles that I use. So very excited and can't wait for those to come in the mail, because of course when it comes to this hobby, I just love buying yarn and different things such as needles for my hobby. So I'm going, so at least I can give you all an update rather on how I like Knit Pro, because I may be switching over to Knit Pro needles, but I think the Chagoo needles will always have my heart. They are just such phenomenal needles. I would say they are definitely pricey, but the price definitely is worth like the quality. I don't think I have ever knit with the needles with such like high quality. When I tell you they're like, on a scale of 1 to 10, they're like an 11. They exceed everything I ever would have wanted in needles. So if you ever need some needles, I would highly recommend the Chagoo. But I'm very excited to try the Knit Pro. And I think I talked about in another video, I'm still debating on getting the shorty set from Chagoo, because my next adventure, I'm going to be working on some socks. And I'm like, I could invest in a shorty set because I think it would be beneficial. But I don't know if Knit Pro has like a shorty set or not. I need to look at that. But if they don't, I probably will just end up going with the Chagoo shorty needles. And I was so tempted when I was buying the needles today, the Knit Pro needles. I was like, I could just go ahead and get myself a shorty set. But I was like, wait, let me not do all that. Let me just start with ordering those double pointed needles from Knit Pro. So super excited to see how the circular Knit Pro needles, how I like those, because like I said, I've never used that before. And the next project I've been working on is my Ivy sweater. I'm not going to show you all because it's not much to update, but I did split off for the sleeve, so now I'm working on the body of my sweater. That's just going great because it's just like really an easy project. So if you need an easy project, add the Ivy sweater by Petite Knit on your list. But once I get a little bit farther and it looks a little bit more exciting, I will show you all what that looks like as well. But I still want to give you all just a little update on that. And another thing that I'm torn between or debating, so if you have been watching my videos, I think you all already know by now I love Petite Knit. But if you are new here, I love and adore Petite Knit's patterns, as many people do, because for me the patterns are so well written. But Petite Knit released a new pattern, and I wrote it down on my handy dandy notebook so I can remember. But it's called the Jenny Blouse, and I'll try to put a picture of the sweater. This is so stunning, but here's what I'm debating. So when so here's my thing. With my knitting, I like to make, I will say this, when I knit to actually make clothes for myself that kind of fit into the clothes that I already have. Like, I know a lot of people, sometimes they will just knit things that they think or they really like or that just look cool to them, but they may never wear them because that's how they like to do their knitting. But for me personally, like I said, I like to kind of knit because I want to have more clothes. That's why I knit. So when I looked at this sweater, it's very, very beautiful, but I'm like, does it fit into like the clothes that I already have? I don't know. That's why I'm torn. But I'm like, maybe this is a sweater that I just make just to make it because I love it. And I don't know, like once I make it and like try it on, I may be like, you know, I actually love this, and it actually does fit into the clothes that I already have. Now with the sweater, I haven't bought the pattern yet, so I'm not sure of the construction of the sweater, but I do know you're using fingering and mohair yarn held together. And that is another thing. That's another reason why I'm torn with this sweater. So where I live in the South, the weather is just so like inconsistent. Like one day it's kind of not even, I don't want to say cold, but it's just kind of chilly, and then it goes to spring weather. So the thing about having like sweaters with fingering weight and mohair, sometimes the sweaters are too hot, and that's why I'm starting to lean. Since I've been working on my stripe hype sweater by Veronica Lindbergh, I'm using DK weight yarn, and since I've been working on that sweater with that yarn weight, I feel like I'm gonna be able to get more wear out of a sweater that has DK weight yarn compared to sweaters that are with fingering weight and mohair. So now I'm kind of I think I'm leaning toward becoming a person who makes their sweaters with DK weight yarn compared to fingering weight and mohair. But I love working on sweaters that are using that you know, fingering weight and mohair. So I'm like, if I make the sweater, could I make this sweater with DK weight yarn? Maybe, but I'm not sure how that is going to look with the design of the sweater. Because like sometimes I just like how a sweater looks with the recommended yarn. Like I've tried that before, where maybe a pattern called for a yarn weight and I tried to use a different yarn weight, and sometimes I just don't like how it looks. So I feel like with the Jenny blouse, I'm gonna like how it looks with the mohair. So mohair and finger weight held together. So I'm just torn. I don't know what to do, but I think it's beautiful. I'm not sure if I want to add it on my list of things I want to make, but I just wanted to share this pattern because it's stunning, and hey, you may like it and you may be like, yeah, I want to make this. So if you have made this sweater or you are working on this sweater, I want to know like how is it going for you. Even though I know I think the sweater was just like released maybe this week or the previous week, I can't remember, but yeah, I just wanted to share with y'all because you may love this. And the photos that Petite Knit put out of this sweater are so stunning. I love the colors, and I think this sweater will look great in a pink color because I also have shared this year for 2026 for me is my year of pink. So I want a lot of my garments that I make to be in the color of pink, or at least have some pink sprinkled in the garments that I make. So I think that sweater would be really also beautiful in the color of pink, or really any shade of color. I think even like a burnt orange will look really beautiful in that sweater, especially with the design. So like I said, I'm still debating, because also that's another thing since I love Petite Knit's patterns so much, I said like every year I at least want to make one garment or one project from Petite Knit, and I'm already working on my Ivy sweater, so that kind of already checks off my like one Petite Knit item. So I'm like, do I really want to have another Petite Knit item on my 2026 like things that I make? I don't know, because I kind of want to like explore and try other patterns as well. So if I decide that I want to make this sweater, it may be something that I add on my 2027 list, but I'm still trying to decide like what I want to do. But still such a beautiful pattern. So the last thing I want to talk about, or share with y'all rather, because in my last video I had shared about this sweater that I've just been like obsessing over, and I think many people are as well. It's the LilleHammer sweater by Dell Design. I'll try to put a picture up so y'all can see. This is the most like stunning, It's so gorgeous. I'm just like obsessed with it. But the thing that I also share about in my last podcast is I'm nervous to make the sweater because it looks complex and it looks challenging and there's steeking involved. And steeking is just, I think, one of the most scariest things you probably can do in knitting, or most scariest thing for me personally, because it's like to think that I can be working on a project for months and months and months and then cut into that and potentially ruin the project absolutely scares me. But I found a reel of a person who was working on this sweater, and I'll try to see if I can put a snippet of the reel up here and also include the reel in the description box below. But the knitter shows like her process of doing the steeking part with the LilleHammer sweater. And so once I saw that reel of her doing the steeking, it's not even that much steeking required, so it made me feel better, because the only part that you're doing really is the armhole section so you can attach the sleeve. So when I saw that video, I was like, okay, I think I can do this. So now I have to challenge myself with like practice, to do some practice work on how to steek, because I think I can find some videos like on YouTube that allows me to work on something small, at least so I can practice, because I don't want to like start this sweater and then try to like that be my first attempt of steeking, because I don't think that would go well. I mean, hey, maybe it would go well, but I would at least prefer to like practice before I make this whole sweater, because that would make me feel a lot more comfortable if I had like practiced with using that technique. So if you are like obsessed with this sweater just like I am, but you were nervous about using the steeking and all that stuff, I'll put that video in the description box below, because hopefully it'll make you feel better and give you a little bit more courage to try this sweater, because I know seeing that reel definitely made me feel a lot more encouraged. So like I said, I'll put that video in the description box below so y'all can check it out. And before I end this episode, of course, I have to share with you all the encouraging quote of the day, because I don't know about you, but I love finding and reading encouraging quotes. So the encouraging quote of the day says, "Don't spend time beating on a wall hoping to transform it into a door." And that quote is by Coco Chanel. So I hope that quote encouraged you. But if you stayed this long to watch the full episode, thank you so much. And if you enjoyed the video, you can please give me a like or subscribe. But until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye.